Hi everyone. So this is what it looks like when you log into ALEKS the first day of the class. If you have your Pi, the Pi will show up. Otherwise, if you're on timeline view, it will look like that. And you can see that our time is now April 14th, and you can click now these assignments. So I want you to pay attention to the left side here. So in the bright blue, we have this path. This is not part of your grade, and as I mentioned before, it's not the priority that we want you to work on because there are a lot of topics. So I would not work on the path. What you want to pay attention to are the dark blue, because these are the actual assignments. Now it always puts the quiz first because quizzes are more important than the assignments. But notice that we have the quizzes locked because you need to at least get through the assignments first, because we don't want you to take the quiz before you're ready. So underneath the quiz, you have these mini assignments. There's 5 questions each, which is why they're called mini assignments. So there's 4 each week, and they do show up in order. So you just want to start with 1, and then go to 2, then go to 3, and go to 4. Math is something that's best learned in order, which is why you want to make sure that you are going in order. So to just click on, to work on the assignment, you just literally click on it, and then it will open this. Make sure you pay attention to the details here, especially with the quiz. It tells you when it's due. For homework, we have unlimited attempts. It takes your best score, and then the last day to turn it in is the last day of the class. So you can work on it late. You don't need to ask for extensions. And then once you start the homework, you must finish it or save it for later before you can work on anything else. So you can't really skip between homework, and I don't recommend you do that anyway, because to be most successful in the class, you want to make sure you get the homework done before you do the quizzes. So you just click start. And then the first time that you are in ALEKS, it will show you how to navigate the questions. So you click here to go to each question. When you're ready to submit, you click submit assignment, and that will then give you a grade. Otherwise, if you're not done, you click save for later. Save for later is not given a grade. So if you start something but you never submit, it's not going to be in the grade book. So you do have to make sure when you're done, you click submit assignment. So you've got the questions here. There are, this is our help. So there are some help tools here if you're not sure how to enter things in. Now on the right here, these are some great options. So there's an explanation button. Not every question has this available, so just be aware of that. But when you click this, you lose your current question and attempt, which is not a problem most of the time because you have unlimited attempts. So you just click OK if you're willing, and so it will mark it as wrong, but then you could try again. But the explanation will walk you through how to do the question. So and then when you're done, and you can take notes from this, I recommend actually taking notes from this. You click return to question, and then you would have to click try another, and then it will give you a new one for you to try. Some questions don't have the try another option, and in order to redo that question, you would have to submit the assignment and then start a second attempt on the assignment, and then you'll get a second try on that question. After you answer the question, you click the check button, and then it will tell you if it's right or wrong. So that's the explanation button. Next is example. So example does not lose an attempt. And so it is similar to the explanation. Sometimes they're the same, sometimes they're different. So I would recommend clicking example first so that you don't lose an attempt. And then if that still doesn't help, you can click explanation. We've got a link to the ebook, and so it tells you what section it comes from. And so you click there and it will open up the ebook. And so it takes you to the right section, and so then you can look in the ebook. So it says topics on real numbers, so you'd probably like, oh, maybe I should go to the set of real numbers. So you can click on that section, and then you can read the ebook to try to see how to answer the question. And this image is similar to what they're asking you to do here. And then there's also the message center. So the message center will basically be a way to message your instructor. Once it loads, you can type in some math. So if you're like, these are my steps, I'm not sure where I went wrong, you can type that in, and then you can click send. And then to get replies, those are also in the message center. So I'm going to click cancel here, and then we'll X out. So that's how this works. You just click on the next question to go to the next question. You've got this drop down here, so you can move from the question to your assignment list and everything like that, but I recommend either clicking submit assignment or save for later. I'm going to click save for later. And then if you want to see all the assignments, you can click assignment list. So when you go to the assignment list, it will tell you which ones you've started. It lists them in the order here. So you can see we've got the assignments. There are optional assignments here. These are supposed to be used for you to study, or if you're really struggling on a question on one of the actual graded assignments, you can go to the optional ones. The optional ones are, as they say, optional. They're not part of your grade. You are not required to do these, but they are there so you can use them for study purposes. Once you submit, then it will give you your grade over here. If you can filter, so you can say, okay, I just want to see the homework, and then it will list your homework here. You can also search by week, so if you just type like W2, will give you all the week 2 items, so that's something that can be very helpful. So let's talk about what else you have on this navigation here. So on this left navigation, you've got home, and that takes you back to this main page. Learn is the shortcut to this bright blue thing that you're not required to do. Review is also related to the pie and the bright blue, so you're not going to really be using learn and review. We talked about assignments. Worksheet, that is also related to that, so we're not really using worksheet. Calendar. So when you click on calendar, that just tells you when things open up. Everything opens the same day, so you can see that they're all listed. Okay, so here is the ALEKS grade book. When it first pops up, there will be some notifications. This overall ALEKS grade, ignore this because we're not paying attention to the ALEKS grade book. The Blackboard grade book is what's important. The only thing that you'd really be using the grade book for is to view your scores. And if you want to review an assignment, like let's say you want to review a quiz before you take like the midterm or the final exam, you would see your quiz and you would click on the score and then it would open it back up. So the gradebook is how you review previous assignments that you've done, so you can look at the questions again, redo them just as studying. So you can see it's organized where you've got the quizzes and the tests on top, and then you've got homework on bottom. So next, reports is just, don't worry about that. If you sent a message to your instructor, you can click on message center and then this will bring it up. And it does take a little bit to load, but it would show up here. And you'll know when you get a message back from your instructor if you sent a message, because it will show up on the little bell here. So it'll say that you have a message with this notification. Okay, resources. So if you don't like accessing the videos in the textbook like via the textbook, there is this Excel file that you can download with the direct links to all those videos. So you can just download it and then click the links in the Excel file and it will take you to the video. So next is textbook. So we're going to expand. You can order a printed version. I heard that this is $25 and you may find it worth doing so. Otherwise, you've got the ebook. And the ebook opens in a new window, and anything in a new window like this is not counted for activity in ALEKS. So if you're in the ebook for 30 minutes, you will get timed out of ALEKS. So that is why you may want to buy the physical textbook. Or what you would have to do is make sure at least once every half hour you go back into ALEKS and click something, like go to another page or something, for you not to get timed out. So I'm going to just expand the ebook for now. So this is what the ebook looks like, and there's also the link to the order the printed version here. This is how you get to the table of contents, so you can go to various chapters. Once you're in the chapter, this drop down allows you to go to different sections. And then once you're in a section, you're just scrolling. Links to the videos are right here, so they have this little tiny button, so then you can click and it will bring up the video right here, and then there's other videos underneath it. Once you're done watching the video, and you can make it full screen, you click see related reading and it will take you back to where you were. So this is what the ebook looks like. There are some images, and when you click them you can get a bigger image, and then you click see related reading to go back to it. And so you just, when you're going through the ebook, you're basically just scrolling. You can highlight, leave notes, bookmark. If this font is too small, you can click settings and you can change the text size. That's as big as it gets. Otherwise, if you want to zoom in, control and then your scroll wheel will also zoom in more. So that's my shortcut for trying to zoom in more if you really want to see it bigger, because otherwise it really doesn't get that big. So control and the scroll wheel on your mouse will allow you to do that. You can search the ebook, so if you're like, oh, I really need to know what linear is, or you can just click in that word, and then everywhere where that shows up, it will pop up. But you want to pay attention to this section, because like, oh, you don't want to click like chapter 10 or something if we're not there yet. So you do want to pay attention to where it's showing up. So that's the ebook. And then this last thing is the dictionary. So the dictionary is very helpful. It is phenomenal if you are not sure what a word means. So it's organized by topic here. So you can expand by clicking arithmetic readiness, and then we've just got a list of words that go in here. But something that a lot of people ask me is, what does it mean to evaluate? Or let's say you don't know what it means to solve. So if you want to search for a word, you just click the search here. And let's say we want to look up solve. So it will show results right here, solve and solution. So you click on it and it will explain solutions. It gives you the definition, and then it shows you an example of solving and what it means to solve. So that's really helpful, because what you want to pay attention to is the process, and you need the words tell you what you're supposed to do. So you can't just ignore what the words are and look at the math, because the words are telling you what you're supposed to do. So if we look up evaluate, which is another one that students usually are unsure about. So here it tells you what the word evaluate means, and then it gives you two different examples depending on the context. And then there's related, because when you evaluate, you need to follow the order of operations. So then you can click on order of operations, and they give you the steps, and then examples. So this is also very helpful for your notes. If like you're struggling on something and you're like, man, I really don't understand this, look in the dictionary, because they put it very concisely with examples. So that can be very helpful for you. So that's ALEKS. So I mentioned before in my previous video about before you start the class in ALEKS that you want to make sure you review the videos before you click on accessing ALEKS. In ALEKS you have access to all of the assignments, but you want to make sure you still come back to the content here, because you don't want to do all 4 assignments at once. You want to first watch the videos, then do that particular assignment that goes with it. So you want to pay attention to the name of it. Then you're to watch the videos for the second assignment and then do the second assignment. So you don't want to watch all the videos at once, and you don't want to do all of the assignments at once. You want to break them into little pieces. That is more successful for learning. So you can walk through, and then you take your quiz. So take your quiz after you've done all the assignments. Make sure you read the directions here. You have to upload your work to the quiz to Blackboard, because the quiz, the score that's in ALEKS, is not counted in your grade. What's counted in your grade is your quiz work. This allows you, if you accidentally type something in ALEKS, we can correct it and then you can get points for that. If you did part of the problem correctly, ALEKS only marks right or wrong, so you can get partial credit. So that's why we put in as your grade for the quiz work grade, not the ALEKS score. So make sure when you're taking the quiz in ALEKS, you're writing things down so that you can then turn it in afterwards. So that's everything you need to know about ALEKS and how it works with the class. And if you have any questions, let me know.